All right. Hi, everyone. John Marshall, the DrillMaster, Tolleson, Union High School. My old school rival. I'm from Agua Fria. Alrighty. Going to do a critique. Haven't had did a critique of Tolleson a while ago. And they just completed this drill meet. And so here we go. So, when you first fell in, why didn't you get your spacing and alignment? Just a question. Why go through that? Is it to impress the judge? If so, I can understand that. I definitely can. There are judges who really just don't know what they're doing. And you're gonna walk. You're gonna walk in front of the camera? Really? Just unaware? Okay. It looks like your sockets are out of alignment. Oh, you had to wait for a little while. Oh, there we go. Oh, and so when you do that, why aren't you dressing to? Yeah, why aren't you dressing to the right? Why are you dressing on the national bearer? Yeah, U.S. is being carried lower, and your tempo is too slow. And it's colors halt for the Marine Corps. Boy, you whipped that around too. Let me, hold on. I'm going to bring up my metronome. I'll pause this. All right, starting over. About 94 steps a minute. And you're about 129 steps per minute there. You've got to even that out. The tempo range for the Marine Corps, Navy, and Coast Guard is anywhere from 112, kind of a random number, but 112 to 120. 116 is the center. Do yourself a big favor. Get a metronome app. And on my metronome app, let me show you really quickly here. So on my metronome app, whoops, right here, you can see it says tap tempo. That's how I'm tapping it as I see the heel strikes. And so the 92, 94 steps per minute, way out of range. The 130, way out of range. So you're going the extremes in both ranges, where get that metronome app, get this little Bluetooth speaker, clip it on, hit, you can hit 4/4, take the accent off, go down to, I'm going to set 116 on this, and then you start going. And you march everything at that tempo. That's 116. And it sounds like a cowbell, but who doesn't need more cowbell? All right, let's go ahead here. So That's probably the dirtiest, although I understand why the technique was created of having the guard go to right shoulder. I understand that, and it was performed well. But for Marine Corps JROTC, the headquarters, that was the... Oh, yeah, I can see the staffs there. All right, and so let me show you this. I'm coming out with an article soon, and I want to just give you... It's going to be very interesting, very eye-opening. But what I need you to see, though, is there, my PowerPoint. All right, this is what I need you to see. Enlarge that a little bit for you. This is how you should look. Now, this is the guide on present. I understand. In my article, I'm going to explain everything, but this is how you need to look. Now, and I suggest both hands on the staff because you're going to have to furl and unfurl the staff. But you have to look like that. That's where the staff needs to be. The staff at waist level with both hands holding it down like that, that's not a thing. Nobody does that. None of the services do that. It just doesn't happen that way. So anyway, let me get back to what we're doing here. All right. There. So this isn't a technique that you're using. So let me go back just a bit. The wobble just really... Good. Now, you can march in at an angle, guards. You can march in at an angle and then do that little facing movement, or you can let's say right rifle guard. So you're marching in like this. You're marching in at an angle, and you take that last step here, and then come to here. Now you're facing the staff. The same thing on the opposite side. If you have to stop with the left, you stop here and then bring your foot around and come in, and you halt facing the staffs instead of halt facing this way and then facing using that little facing movement. It's just that much more impressive, just that much more, a little smoother, a little less technique to use. And I think it flows a little bit better visually. So, not uniform technique there. See how? Let me show you. So, see, oh, I just had it. And of course, oh, there we go. So the end here of this case for the organizational is flopping down, but for the national, the guard has his right hand on it and just sliding it off. So not uniform technique used here. So we definitely need uniform technique. And then on this first fold, you can see how it's sticking up here. And bearers, you're not doing your thing here properly. That's not how colors are unfurled. You don't just quickly do that while they're kind of sort of vertical. I know this is, you have to use the Army's techniques. You're being forced to, and I don't appreciate it at all. This is big competition doing this, and they shouldn't be. Every service should be able to use their own techniques, but I'm a lone wolf crying out in the wilderness. Lone wolf, yeah, kind of, sort of. A lone voice, not a lone wolf, but crying out to stop this ridiculousness. So here, instead of lifting the staffs, what you need to do is start unfurling there. right there. As the staff is underneath your armpit, it's where it should be, and horizontal, you need to start. See, you're holding it down here a good 18 or so inches below where it needs to be. You're holding it down at the waist. So the colors would hit the deck anyway quite quickly, but here underneath the armpit they're not going to hit the deck as quickly. So you can unfurl, and then as you get to a certain point you raise up just a little bit, but you're unfurling it as it's horizontal. You raise up a little bit, you unfurl, you raise up a little bit more, you keep unfurling. What you don't want is for the spade to go well past eyesight that you can't see it, because technically what's supposed to happen is that you unfurl so that the spade is flat, and then you come up into the harness socket. But since the colors are so large and the color bearers are relatively short, you'd have to be enormous just to unfurl these colors, the 4'4" by 5'6" colors. You definitely have to be extremely tall to unfurl them properly so that the staff is horizontal. So I get it why you're bringing it up so quickly, but you're bringing it up much too quickly. So you unfurl and you keep rising a little bit, rising a little more, but then make sure that you can see the spade so that it's flat. You unfurl it until it's flat, and then you bring it up into the socket. And don't look down. You see what you're doing? So this is National Bearer. National Bearer, you look like this. And as you bring the staff up, you should be right over left, but not on the staff. Bring the left excuse me, bring the left down to the harness socket. And when you're at the harness socket, then you can pull the harness socket up enough to where the ferrule, you can guide the ferrule in and have that taken care of and squared away easily. But with you looking down, you've got your right hand way up there, left hand up there, but then you have a different technique, right hand up there, and then left hand down here. So it's the variation of technique that you don't want. You don't look down. Excuse me. Reach across, salute. See, your colors aren't even completely unfurled. So it should be drop all the way down, come back up, and then drop. Cases looked like they were folded properly to end up looking like this, but got to keep that string tucked. So no, actually I think well, it's close. It's really close. I think they're at the same level, so not bad. So the organizational might be a little bit higher. Good simultaneous technique guards. But in order to take all guesswork out of that, I would go the next notch up for the US bearer. So you had to move into position to center yourself just to receive the report, or just to salute? All right. All right. Not bad. So cases, they're a bit sloppy. This is what the case should look like when it's tucked into the belt. This is tucked into the belt. What you have is draped over the belt, and you don't want that. You want tucked into the belt. It's an army technique, but still, this is what you're forced to do. So tucked into the belt, with my hands being the belt. So equal distant on the top and the bottom, not draped over like that. Mark time, and then you go back to the really slow tempo. Mark time is executed with your toe going up 2 inches off the deck, and your heel 4 inches off the deck. Oh, that's a stomp. So you're stomping the whole way there. I thought so. Left guard, you're stomping everywhere. That's a whole foot stomp. You've got to get that tempo fixed. 116 all the time. 5, 6, 7, 8 usual. So colors are counter march, not color verse. Counter march doesn't require a halt at all. You're not supposed to come to a halt and then execute it. It's different technique used in different positions, but there is no halt for this. It's not like going into half step, mark time. The technique for the national color bearer is going to be mark time eventually, but not immediately. And so the techniques here, I understand why you're halting. It's creating a starting point from a halt position, which is used when you're at a halt, not when you're marching. So you should use the marching version of this, which you're not bringing your feet together. That's colors halt. So whatever that color or whatever that command was isn't a command. See, you trimming the colors here, it was never intended when the Marine Corps created the move. It was never intended to be a synchronized movement. Going to sling arms was never intended to be a synchronized movement. The Marine Corps order specifically says it's not coordinated. The Army says it's not coordinated. All kinds of things are not coordinated. They're individual moves. You do them however, it doesn't really matter. For competition, it's very different. And bringing the arm up and then bringing it down, gathering the color behind you, I understand that you want to make it as synchronized as possible, but there is no command for it. You come to order, and then your right arm raises all the way up, not what you're doing, and then comes down the flag, brings it behind the right arm, in between the right arm and the staff, and then you give cut. colors are vertical. That's good. So you should, Commander, you should be responding to your own command. Commanders outside of the formation, except for, that's every formation except for color guard and flag detail, commanders respond to their commands. Air Force actually specifies that. Same with the halt coming there. That's you don't bring the feet together before a turn. You execute it right away. So, and I like when somebody tells me, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'm going to show you in black and white. All right. I like when people say, "Well, where does it say?" And that's fine. That's a fair question. When it's said in a really sarcastic, crummy manner, then fine. I'm not going to answer you. However, I can understand why you would why anyone would say, "Well, wait a minute. Where does it say?" So let me look up. I'm gonna pause the video here, and I'll show you. Hold on just a sec. Okay, here we go. Oh, of course, I clicked off. Never mind. You can't see what's going on behind the scenes here, but all right, there we go. So, counter march. When this command is given while marking time or marching, the color guard will take one more 2-inch vertical step, marking time, or one more 30-inch step forward with the right foot before starting the half steps for this movement. When so, and I should highlight here too, when marking time or marching, the command of execution march is given as the left foot strikes the deck. There you go. So stop halting. That's counter march, and let's see, that's that's the wheels. That's for joint color guard. So for joint, you have the rotation point in the center, and it's called a wheel. The Army wheel is what the Marine Corps calls the turn. So on the command to march for the turn, here we have right, left, turn, and you're calling the commands correctly, calling them well. That's good. On the command march with the right, left flank guard acting as a stationary pivot, the color guard turns to the right or left while half stepping until they face the new direction. There, that's it. So there's no, when making the turn, all members of the color guard face the same direction, maintaining their alignment. That makes sense. Then on completion, it's forward or halt. So there you go. There's no halt supposed to be executed in there, and sorry to say, you're going to have to change your technique here. Now, why didn't you get it? You're probably going to ask a question. Why didn't you get marked down by the judges? Because the judges aren't trained. They're volunteers. They come in, they do the best they can. Training takes time, and people don't want to take the time to train. Simple as that. So I want to try and find something else here for you. Hold on just a sec. All right, so here's for trimming colors. When you come to order, you're going to bring the, from carry, going to bring the staff out and then down. Let the staff slide through. This is what this paragraph says. Let the staff slide through. Don't have it slam like I just did, but your left arm, your left hand keeps hold of the staff, and then you are going to let's see, lightly grasp the fabric of the colors raising the right hand to lightly raising the right hand to lightly grab the fabric of the colors, pull it down along the staff. Do not attempt to throw or tuck it. That means, doing this. And then re-grip the staff with the right hand using the strong grip. That's the strong grip there. And then change the position of the right hand for the strong grip. So the figures here are 11 Charlie through Delta. So here is Charlie. So this is order. They actually kind of screwed this one up, but that's Quantico. So there's Charlie. You reach it up, and then you bring the hand down. Have that grip, and then ready cut. So that's what you need to be doing for order. And I know that the material can just go all over the place, but you do the best you can to follow that technique. And again, judges aren't trained. They're not going to catch everything. I'm studying constantly. This is what I do. So that's why my critiques are so vastly different from judges. So one last thing here before we get to the rest of the video. Everything the color guard does is the same, executed at the same time. Absolutely everything, except present from order. For this is following a tradition here. So present, the nationals brought up to the carry position before anybody else moves. It's raised on the command of present, the preparatory command. Why this is done, it's based on tradition. It's based on sea service tradition of the U.S. always being raised first on a mast, and it's everywhere that we do that. The U.S. is always raised first, but this is odd and strange and weird that the Marine Corps does this in the fleet. Nobody else does it, and it's just very strange. Anyway, my point is that everything else is executed at the same time. Everything else. So when it comes to parade rest, it's odd that, and it's right here, there. So the picture was flattened and widened, so they look weird all of a sudden, and then it's skinny here, and they look weird. But to have the information in so rests with colors, to have this not mention how to go back to attention is quite odd, because the next thing is eyes right here. And anyway, so respond to your my point is respond to your own commands, and commander, instead of coming to attention and calling the position, calling from the position of attention for the team to go back to attention. So left turn should be left turn. Left turn, march should end on the left foot. You're going to the left, it's called on the left. I know the Marine Corps, Navy, and Coast Guard have a weird separation of words for each foot, which really, when I was first learning Marine Corps drill, just really screwed me up. After marching Army and Air Force drill for quite a long time. Nice job. Almost at the end. There's a little bit of a slight timing issue, but the staggered movement between the guards for going to present, really well done. Good. What is that? Well, it really doesn't matter what that command is. You don't call it. There is no command to trim the colors. You just do it. And so the organizational staff going back and forth like that, remember, bring the staff out of the socket and then let it slide through your hands and then hold on. It should be on the deck. Hold on to it with the left, nice and tight. Get your colors trimmed wherever they are. Get them nice and smoothed out. Bring that right hand to the strong grip, and then wait, ready, cut, and drop that left away. So some technique issues and definitely some timing issues there that you need to take care of right away. And if there's anything I can do to help, get that metronome, get that going, and practice with it constantly. Make sure you're hitting that tempo all the time, 116, all right? But if there's anything more I can do, please let me know. Thanks.